Pierre Gasly clearly knows how to drive a car. What he doesn't know is where his future is. Well, I'm gonna make some predictions here today. So on Sunday, Pierre Gasly got a podium with Alpha Tauri over in Baku. Granted, Verstappen and Hamilton both retired, but still an amazing drive nonetheless out of the Frenchman, who does not have a seat next year. Now, as most people would know, Alpha Tauri is a very unique situation because it's not a set seat. It's not a seat that anyone wants to spend all of their career in. It's a stepping stone to that main Red Bull team. Problem with Gasly is, with Checo winning on Sunday, I feel like that completely locks up his spot as the second driver, and obviously nobody is going to replace Max Verstappen. So where on earth is Pierre going to go? I'm going to go with my 4 predictions. I'm going from most likely to least likely. So let's start. First of all, I see him going to Alpine. Why? Well, it's pretty simple. The 2 drivers there are Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon. Well, I feel like he's going to be replacing Alonso. And before all the Alonso fans get mad, this isn't prime Alonso that we're seeing anymore. And yes, while Esteban has not been the most stellar driver, he is still a Frenchman driving for a French team. Something that Pierre would be doing as well. And before anyone says, oh, how's that a big deal? The French government is literally invested into the team. So the French clearly have a lot of pride in this team. Not to mention, it's not necessarily a step down. Now you could be saying, oh, the equipment is not going to be as good. With the new regulations next year, we have no clue how that's all going to handle out. We could see Alpine jump to maybe the top of the midfield. Now, no one's going to make that jump past top 3 out of the midfield teams this year, aside from maybe McLaren and maybe Ferrari. But Ferrari, they're not historically a midfield team anyway. And with Alpine, it would give a young driver in Gasly a chance to really show his potential. Right now, he's under pressure. Granted, Yuki Tsunoda being his teammate takes some of that off, but being in the Red Bull youth system, something that is notoriously very harsh, has to weigh at least a little bit on Gasly. And this, he'd be able to take over. I mean, Esteban Ocon, he's proven that he can and does deserve a Formula 1 seat, but Gasly is just straight up the much better driver in there. So that's why I think that it's my most likely, and he's going over there. Now for second most likely, I'm saying that he stays at AlphaTauri for 1 more year. Why? Yuki Tsunoda. Granted, you do need to keep in mind, hey, this is Yuki's first year in Formula 1. He got his best career finish at a track he never even made, and he starts at. But overall, he has not shown the race pace throughout the year. And like I said, with Checo and with Max both at the main Red Bull seats, Yuki, it's hard to see him getting up there or really getting anywhere. He hasn't shown us really anything. Plus, his demeanor overall is off-putting to a lot of people. So that could make Red Bull think, okay, we'll sign Checo for 1 more year, and then just in case, we'll have Gasly there, just in case another Alex Albon situation comes in, which I doubt it will, but it could. Now, moving on to my third most likely. With my third most likely, I'm going with Alfa Romeo. Now, he could really take over either of those seats. And with the new regulations, that's going to scrunch the field together. But I also feel that's the reason that both drivers could be gone. Kimi Raikkonen, he's a great driver, but he's in much older age now, and surely next year's got to be the year he retires, right? He only signed a 1-year extension for this year anyway. He's got a World Drivers' Championship. He's proven that he is a very solid driver. But is he really going to be willing to work through all of those changes with next year's new regulations? I highly doubt it. And then on the other end, you have Antonio Giovannazi, who is probably the most forgettable driver on the grid, and he just hasn't shown much this year. He's really only gotten the better of Raikkonen in qualifying, and a lot of people were saying, oh, look at Monaco, he's clearly better. Well, that's a one-off, and Raikkonen came back in the next race anyway and did a solid job evening up their point totals there. So both Alfa Romeos scored 8 points. Giovannazi, again, he's a solid driver, but I just don't see him sticking around for a team that's on the rise and a team that's moving as well as Alfa Romeo is. But if they do want to stay on that rise, they want to get a younger driver in there, a more proven driver, a proven race winner, and in an Alpha Tauri equipment nonetheless. So that's why I think that Pierre Gasly could end up over there. Not as likely as the other two, much more likely than this last one though. Alright, for the last one, I'm going with Mercedes. Hear me out. Hear me out. With the new regs, they're likely going to want to keep at least one driver. And everyone knows Valtteri Bottas, he's not looking too good right now. You could easily cut him in favor of George Russell. But let's say Lewis does get that 8th world title this year. He's only behind 1 point of Verstappen as of the time I'm recording this. We never know. He gets that 8th title. He becomes the most successful Formula 1 driver of all time. What if he just hangs it up? And I mean this legit. He's not signed a contract as of now with the following year. Last year, he only signed a 1-year extension. What if he says, hey, I've got 8 now. I'm the most successful driver in F1 history. You know, he'll have 100 wins by that time. He's already got 100 podiums, or 100 poles. What if he just hangs it up? And in that case, I doubt they're going to go to Esteban Ocon, even with his contract. You got George Russell, who they're in danger of losing if they don't use him. What if you bring in Pierre Gasly? You steal someone from Red Bull, put him into Mercedes equipment, which we don't know how good it's going to be next year, but it's Mercedes. They're not going to fall off that much. Come on, let's be real. Now, that is my least likely one, but oh my goodness, that would be an interesting Merc team to see next year, Russell and Gasly. That being said, that is the checkered flag on this video. You guys have made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, hit the like button. You want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button. Got a lot more coming your way. And yeah, thank you for watching, and hopefully I will see you next time.